Hello and welcome to Everyday Eternal, where we try to find eternal truths in everyday situations. You might notice that I am not in my office where I regularly tape these small devotionals, but I'm in the hospital right now. It's March 2012, and I have a problem with my esophagus, and so I'm in the hospital. But that doesn't stop me from doing the things that I love doing to encourage you and to help you. I'm very encouraged by the fact that, I might be going through a situation that's difficult right now, but it's nothing compared to what many others are going through. So, I'm not going to talk about me necessarily or about my situation. I just want you to be encouraged that if you're at home or if you're in your office or if you're on your cell phone watching this, be encouraged. You can breathe, you can swallow, you can eat. So keep me in prayer and just enjoy your day and be thankful for everything you have right now. Um, I want to share something today. I have a friend who is going through a really tough time in her relationship. The good part is that she's just dating this guy right now. And the bad part is that it still hurts really bad when things go wrong, no matter what part of our relationship we may be in, whether it's beginning uh, or whether we've been with the person for a long time and gone through a bad situation. She fears that she has caused irreparable damage and has probably lost this guy forever. Maybe you're going through a difficult relationship or situation right now. Um, not today, the day I wrote this, which was last week, uh, I was outside with my son, and it must have been Monday, which is my day off, and he was taking a bath out on the driveway. And he was so happy out there with the water hose and his little plastic bathtub because he's only a year and a half. Uh, but time came to get out before he turned into a little raisin. And of course, he did not want to get out. I mean, what could be better? You're taking a bath outside under the sun, playing with the water hose. But, as all good things, there usually comes a time when you have to stop. So of course he didn't want to go out, and he fussed, and he even threw one of his toys to the ground, being very dramatic about his need to stay bathing in the sun. But I finally won, of course, because I'm bigger than he is, and I wrapped him in a towel and pulled him up into my arms and went into his room and dressed him in play clothes and then let him go on his merry way. Well, he ran around the house just as happy as can be. My baby, the only problem is that his hair was starting to dry. Now, my baby has the cutest, every mom says this, but he has the cutest, fine, curly hair ever. However, if it's not combed while it's wet, it becomes a painful and stressful ordeal. So I pulled out the brush, and unfortunately, he saw me pull it out, and so he sprang into escape mode. We ran around the house a bit until finally I caught him, and then the struggle began. He fussed and squirmed. He did not want to let me comb his hair, but if it got completely dry, it was going to be even worse. So many times, situations and even relationships are like my baby's hair. We need to tackle them at the right time, or else things are going to get even worse, tangled and painful. In my friend's case, it's easy for me to say as an outsider, this is a warning. It's better to nip something in the bud now, even if it hurts, before it really takes hold of you and the pain is truly excruciating. There are things in life that we have to deal with immediately. Don't wait around and think that it's going to go away if you ignore it. If you let some things take their course, you will find yourself bound and seemingly helpless. You will find yourself seemingly helpless to its grip on you. Whether it be your mind, your body, your heart, or spirit, there are some things that you just have to take care of quickly. Don't be like my baby who runs frantically away from getting his wet hair combed only to discover that it hurts even more to comb it when it's dry. Take care of things, get rid of things, and let go of things before you are too wrapped up in them. Let me use this hospital situation as an example. For years, I have been having struggles swallowing, and that's why sometimes, if you know me, I don't eat much in public. I don't eat a lot of, and lately I've been losing a lot of weight because eating has been really uncomfortable for me, and so it's not a good experience, even though I love food. So it's really frustrating. Well, if I would have attended to this situation before, maybe I wouldn't be in the situation I am in now. And so the example of my baby's hair as it gets dry being more tangled and being more difficult to deal with can also apply to something as simple and ordinary as your health, relationships, situations, even at work. Uh, there are some times when you just have to act upon the situation and do something about it before it gets too bad. Ecclesiastes 3 is one of my favorite portions of scripture. Actually, I used to belong to a comedy ministry with a very wonderful comedian from Puerto Rico called JR. And our theme verse came from this portion where it says that there is a time to laugh. Well, in Ecclesiastes 3, it says there's a time for everything. So listen closely. There is a time for everything, a season for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to be healed, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Well, just like I told my friend in the difficult situation in her new relationship, there are some things that are better dealt with in the beginning, early on, so that later it doesn't get too excruciatingly painful. This is Reverend Nada Alvaron reporting from San Pablo Hospital, encouraging you to seek the eternal every day. God bless you.